Okay, I'd like to take a minute to go through the Unit 2 review. And here we're trying to match the subjects with the verbs. We're trying to make sure that they agree. So essentially we have to be doing sort of the same things we were doing on Unit 1, but here we're taking it a little bit further by making sure that if the subject is singular, that the verb matches and is also singular, and that if the subject is plural, that the verb matches and is also plural. So in our first sentence here, Mark and Debbie Cooper are planning a vacation in Hawaii on Waikiki Beach. The first thing we probably need to be thinking about, we don't necessarily have to be marking it now, but what's the verb here? So our verb here is are planning. The important part of that is are. Are is the one that's going to change based on whether the subject is singular or plural. We have Mark and Debbie. And remember, with our subject-verb agreement rules, once you have and, one is more than one, so this is plural. Now, my little trick for this is that if you know that you've got a plural subject, then you're going to want to have the kind of verb that would sound good with the word they. And the reason why I say that is that you're always going to hear whether or not a verb sounds good with they. So if you know it's plural and you know it's supposed to go with they, then you can hear very quickly whether or not that verb is sounding correct. The same thing would go for a singular. So if it was singular, we want to have the kind of verb that would sound good with she. So here, Mark and Debbie Cooper, they are planning a trip. So this one's correct. This one's just fine as written. Leave it alone. On our next sentence, a collection of maps and tour brochures are spread across their dining room table. This one's a little bit tricky because it sounds like it might be fine. We've got are spread as our verb here. What are spread? We might be tempted to say it's the maps and tour brochures. That's why we might think it sounds okay. But that's really a prepositional phrase, of maps and tour brochures. So what's really spread there is a collection. A collection is singular, one collection. So I want the kind of verb that would sound good with she. So I need to change are to is. On the next one, each of the brochures offer a different tour package. Offer is my verb. Each is my subject. Of the brochures is a prepositional phrase. Remember that the words each one, all those ones that have to have that prefix, everyone, everybody, everything, somebody, someone, something, anybody, anyone, anything, nobody, no one, nothing. All of these are all singular. So each is singular. So I need the kind of verb that would sound good with she. She offers. Each offers. Good. Next one. The variety of hotels and airlines seem bewildering. Seem is my verb. It's variety that's my subject. We might think hotels and airlines are subjects, but they're part of that prepositional phrase of hotels and airlines. Variety is singular, so the variety seems. I want the kind of verb that would sound good with she. Variety seems. There are many choices. Are is my verb. This one's a little tricky because the subject actually comes after the verb. What are there? Choices are there. Choices is plural, so I want the kind of verb that sounds good with they. Are does sound good with they. This one's correct. On the second part of the sentence, only a few of the choices fit. Fit is my verb. Few is my subject. Of the choices is a prepositional phrase. Few is more than one. You know, it's not a lot, but it's more than one. So it's still plural. So they fit. That's correct. The Coopers can spend days. Can spend is our verb here. Who can spend? The Coopers. They are plural. They can spend. That's fine. Second part of this, 6 days are not enough time. This one's a little bit tricky. We've got are as our verb, 6 days is my subject. The reason why this is tricky is that once you're starting to deal with units of time, weight, measurement, or money, even though it sounds like those are 6 individual days, what we're really talking about is the total amount of time, the total span of time, a single span of time that can be encompassed by 6 days. So because of that, it's thought of as a singular unit. So 6 days is not enough. Among the more expensive hotels are the Hilton Hawaiian Village. So here we've got are as our verb. We might be tempted to think hotels is our subject, but that's part of this prepositional phrase, among the more expensive hotels. So the Hilton Hawaiian Village, that's one singular hotel, so I need to change this verb to is. Its beachfront location and its many extra amenities makes this hotel very popular. We have essentially two things, well, more than two things, because you think about amenities being plural already, but they make this hotel. So this is plural subject, and so we need to make the verb plural as well. It's combination of 18 restaurants, combination, provide. So it's a combination of 18 restaurants and more than 90 shops, but that's all a prepositional phrase. Combination is singular, even though it might seem plural. Combination is sort of a tricky word because it seems like it might be plural. But if you think about a lock, for example, a lock has to have several numbers to open it, but there's only one combination of those numbers that'll open that lock. So a combination is singular. So combination provides. There are also a wide variety of recreational activities. Are is my verb. What are there? It's the variety of recreational activities. So variety is really my subject. Variety is singular, so I want to change are to is. A kayak ride or surfing lessons are popular. So this one's a little tricky because we have two subjects, but they're connected by or. The rule with or is that whatever is closest to the verb is going to determine the verb's form. In this case, lessons is closest. Lessons is plural, so they are popular. So this one's written correctly. Again, it may not sound correct because it kind of sounds a little funny, but because lessons is closest and it's plural, are is the correct verb. A boogie board or an aquacycle, give. So again, we have the same thing going on here, but now or is connecting two singular things. So in this case, the singular thing, cycle, is closest to the verb give, so I want to have a singular verb. She gives. The cycle gives. In addition to the ocean, each of the hotel's 5 pools provide more opportunities. Provide is my action here. What provide those activities? We might want to say it's the pools, but that's part of that prepositional phrase, of the hotel's 5 pools. So I put each as my subject. Each is singular, so I need to change provide to provides. Each provides. She provides. Among other special activities are, again, we might want to say activities is our subject, but that's part of the prepositional phrase, among other special activities. And so what are among those? A traditional Hawaiian luau and a fireworks show. So luau and show, we have two things because they're connected by and, one, so that's plural, they are, so this is fine. Because they're in a tight budget, here we have are as our verb. Who are in a tight budget? They are. But we have the second part of the sentence. They might be better off choosing a less expensive hotel. So in this case, they might be. Might be doesn't really change with singular or plural, so this is all fine. Each of these tours, again, of these tours is a prepositional phrase. Include is my verb. Each include, each is singular, so she includes. Each includes. We need to add an S there. Most of the tour packages also provide use of a rental car. Here we have provide is my verb. What provide? We want to say the packages, but that's part of a prepositional phrase. So my subject has to be most. The tricky thing with words like some, half, most, or all is that they can be either singular or plural, depending on what it's some, half, or most, or all of. So here it's most of the tour packages. Since it means how many packages, it's going to be plural. If it was most of the tour, for example, that would be how much of that tour, and that would have been singular. Here it's plural, so I want to use the kind of verb that sounds good with they. They provide. This verb is fine. One of the tours offer discount coupons. One is the most singular thing there can be, right? One thing. So singular offers. So I can't even write on the side of this. Offers. Groovy. The type of hotel room vary with each tour package. Now, probably that sounds bad just listening to it. Varies my verb. Type is my subject. Of hotel room is a prepositional phrase. Singular. So I need to change vary to the singular form. In this case, I can't just add an S. I have to actually respell it. V-A-R-I-E-S. Some of the hotel rooms includes. Now that probably sounded pretty bad. And it sounds bad because some, remember some, half, most, or all. We want to ask ourselves if it's how much or how many. Here it's how many hotel rooms, so it's plural. They includes, that sounds terrible. Get rid of that S. They include. The cost of meals are a major concern for the Coopers. Are is my verb, cost is my subject. Cost is one thing, the cost. So the cost is. Waikiki is a resort area. That's fine. Singular, singular. And the price of restaurant meals are very expensive. Here we've got the price. That's one thing, singular. So I need to change that to is. $35 a day are all the Coopers want to spend. When we're dealing with money, we've got $35 a day. When we're dealing with money, what we're essentially worried about is the singular amount that $35 can buy. So it's the value of that money, not so much that they have 35 individual dollars. It's the value of the single value of $35. So we deal with it as a singular thing, which means I need to change R to is. Being able to prepare some of their own meals in the hotel room could save them a lot of money. Could save is my verb. What could save them? Being able to prepare. Since that's one thing, being able to prepare, could save is fine. Could save would actually be fine whether it was singular or plural. She could save, they could save, it's fine either way. Among their other expenses is parking fees. Among is a preposition, so among what? Among the other expenses. Is my verb. That makes parking fees my subject, plural. So I want to change is to are. $15 a day is the usual charge. Again, $15 a day, a money amount. Is my verb. Singular, singular, that's fine. Free parking or a room with a kitchenette are necessary. We have or connecting two pieces here. Room is singular. Parking is singular. The one closest to the verb is room. Since it's singular, I need a singular verb. Is. They haven't been able to find a hotel that offers both. Been is my verb. Have is my helping verb. They is my subject. They is plural. So they have been. That's fine. Distance from the beach isn't very important to the Coopers. Here we've got is my verb. What is very important or isn't very important? The distance from the beach. From the beach is a prepositional phrase. Distance is singular, so is correct. They realize. They is plural. Realize is plural. That's fine. Second part here, though, price of beachfront hotels are. Are is plural, but price is singular. So it's one price. So she is. All the way at the end here we have they can afford. That part's fine. 2 or 3 blocks don't seem too long of a distance for them. Do seem is my verb. 2 or 3 blocks is my subject. Blocks is plural. They do seem. That's fine. After all, the sunshine and the fresh ocean air, so sunshine and air, more than one thing, plural, makes is the verb that they have here. Since we have more than one thing connected by and, so it's one and one connected by and, it's plural, they make walking in Waikiki a pleasure. According to the travel brochures, here in Waikiki are everything. Are is my verb. My question then was going to be, what are here in Waikiki? Well, it's everything. Everything seems plural, but remember, everything, everyone, everybody, anything that starts with that prefix every or ends with that suffix one, body, or thing, those are all singular words. So, is. Although they will have to plan their trip carefully, will have is my verb, they's my subject, that's fine. Coopers are looking. Coopers is plural, are is plural, that also is fine. Okay, that's Unit 2 review. Please call me if you have any questions.